everybody, it's me, John Ward, and welcome to the very first episode of Reviews After Midnight. And the reason for this video is Jonathan Moody asked me if I would like to have my own show, and I said yes. The question was what to call it and what movies to review. So I chose Reviews After Midnight because I wanted to pick more kind of low budget or micro budget films that maybe people haven't heard of, and or films I have even heard of or seen or whatever it might be. So instead of just calling it like Reviews at Midnight, which if you check YouTube, there's a lot of at midnights. And so I thought Reviews After Midnight would work. And that way it could be a little more on the kind of on the raw side of films. And like I said, kind of like unknown movies and stuff. This is basically going to be films that I purchased at Dollar Tree. And but they could also come from Tubi or any other place. But they're going to be mostly Dollar Tree films because I buy a lot of movies just judged on their cover or their title, and I haven't watched them. So I got a whole stack of movies that I can review for this show. And so the first one that I chose to do is, and it's called Alien Invasion, and this is it here. And this is truly one that I did judge from its box. You know, Alien Invasion, which is a typical title, and it says, you know, Encounter from Hell. This is not the correct title. This is actually retitled. The original title is After the Lethargy. It's a 2018 film. Don't know why they changed it, but you know, I guess this title is just easier. It makes a little more sense to what the movie is, I guess, just to kind of like the naked eye scanning the box. And here's the back. And there's no special features. It's from Vertical, and it's not rated. It's 82 minutes and in color, so it's a nice running length. It is widescreen, and it's directed by, and I want to say his name correctly here. So where do I have it in my notes? I didn't. It's okay. Now I can't seem to find it here. But it's direct. If I can find the director, because it's not where it normally is in the credits. Here it is. It's written, directed. It's also edited by, and I believe it's produced by Marc Cartier. I think I'm saying his name right. Marc Cartier. And this is a film that I was very surprised about. I'm glad that this is the first film, you know, for this show that I reviewed. I do like the box. It's pretty straightforward, and it's one that, I mean, when you're looking at Dollar Tree, or I don't think it's on Tubi, I checked. You just think, oh, it's just a regular Alien movie, but it's not actually. It's kind of unfair of what this looks like, which is pretty typical. The company that made it is Creatures of the Night, and they do have a website, www.creaturesofthenight.com. Like I said, I was. Oh, it looks like if you look under its original title, the After the Lethargy, it's on Facebook and Twitter, so you could check it out there. But the plot is, after receiving a package containing a mysterious documentary, Sarah Hamilton, a young journalist and FBI UFO investigator, takes a trip to one of the biggest UFO cover-up sites in history. And it's there that she meets Joe, the park ranger, whose job it is to guide her around the forest whilst protecting her from all the dangers, from all the dangerous predators of the forest. The unexpected interruption by one of the strange beings that live in the forest forces them to change their plans, leading to a macabre game of cat and mouse that will take them deep into hell itself. This is not correct. I don't know why they, I mean, the the whole thing of the package and the documentary and going to this place where UFOs have been seen, that's correct. But the rest of this stuff doesn't, it doesn't exactly make sense to what the movie is. So I'm, oh, and while I have it in my hand, this is the inside of it. So it's just the front. It's not very creative, but you know. But I even looked online, and it just says, and this is from IMDb, I believe, a woman and a forest ranger track an extraterrestrial life form to an abandoned military barracks in the depths of the forest. So that's not even really technically true. So there are going to be spoilers, just to let you know. So skip this, go watch the movie, come back, or you're going to have to sit through spoilers. So basically what it is that, you know, the film begins, there's a woman in a hospital gown, and she's all dirty and bloody and stuff, and she's running through the woods, and she gets attacked by something. We are kind of led to believe that it's possibly bears that are doing it. There's signs all around that say, you know, beware of bears. And then we cut to a couple cops who find her in a creek, and she's all decayed, you know, she's like decaying and she's all messed up. A woman named Sarah, she is like she's basically a photographer, she's a reporter, and she's wants to investigate this really large kind of abandoned, they do call it the barracks, that has had UFO activity. There's been scientists have been there conducting experiments. And so she meets up with a park ranger who basically takes her to this place. And along the way, they do meet up with kind of like the point of view, I guess, of what we're supposed to think are bears, but it's obviously the aliens' point of view. And that point of view is not bad, actually. I actually like the alien point of view in this. I think it works pretty well. And then they meet up with another guy named Ed. And so we have, you know, Sarah, the ranger. We got Ed, who's kind of this big lumbering guy that does type voices when he talks. And they go to this, you know, this like abandoned barracks. And that's when kind of everything starts. And, you know, along the way, we're supposed to think, once again, is it bears or is it aliens that they're coming across? And but once they hit the barracks, that's when we kind of start seeing everything. And so I'm going to back up just a little bit here, because it begins with an Edgar Allan Poe quote, which is fine. You know, nothing wrong with putting quotes at the beginning of your film. I'm not sure where this movie was actually made, because the cars have the really long license plates. They don't have like the ones that we're used to here in America, just like kind of like the rectangle ones. These ones are really long. And it does say, and because these are license plates, I have to assume this is a real place, but it's Republic of Somewhere, and it's Titus County. So that's in like a little kind of like a little subtitle that's on the edge of the screen, and then that disappears and it goes into not that long ago ... And I wasn't sure if like, okay, is this a joke? Is this a real place? Is this a you know, where is this shot? Because and I couldn't figure it out. I did look it up. It looks like it's shot in Spain. The best that I could get is that it was shot in I have it here. It is shot in, that's so hard to read. Shot in Spain, Barcelona, and or Barcelona is one of the few places that it shot. I originally thought maybe it was like, it might have been Canada at first, maybe it was, you know, LA. The UK is mentioned when I looked it up for where the film was premiered. And so I'm the film might be dubbed, but it doesn't seem like it's dubbed, except for Ed. When he actually talks, he kind of goes from the grunting sound to a voice, but it definitely sounds like the voice is dubbed, which is fine. I mean, it works okay, but it's the locations are beautiful in this. It's very green. There's a lot of trees. There's like creeks going by. This abandoned place that they go to, you know, I don't know what it was in real life, like a factory or something, is gorgeous. They spend a lot of time there. I love abandoned places. And it's worth it just to see for the locations and the scenery. The acting is not bad. It's actually pretty good. So the at the beginning, to go back just a little bit, the pregnant woman that's running, she looks good. She's convincing, you know, with the dirt and the blood on her. She runs past like a small graveyard that looks pretty good. I was impressed with the graveyard. After she's kind of killed by something, that cuts to the credits. I like the credits, but I'm not a fan of when movies show scenes from the film. And this has a very kind of X-Files type feel to it, that which is fine for X-Files, but I wasn't a huge fan of it in here. The credits looked good and they flowed nicely, but I just don't think that you need to show what's going to be coming up in the movie. Because in the credits, you know, when this woman who's kind of whisked off the screen at the beginning of the movie, they do show a picture of her in the creek. And then when the credits end, it goes to the creek. And then we see her there. So it kind of ruined it a little bit in that way. So I just wish people wouldn't do that. It's oh yes, here it is. Mark Cartier. So yeah, written, produced, and directed by him. But I think in the credits, it did say that he edited the film also. There's a weird thing with the video that the main character Sarah is watching, that it's a DVD, but when she puts it in, it looks like a VHS. So I'm not sure if the person who's recording it, if this was supposed to be from a while back, and then they took those VHS transfers and put them onto a DVD, and that's now what they're selling, or if this was just a kind of way of letting us know that this is like a pre-recorded thing that was from a while back. And but the transitions that they do from real life, basically with Sarah watching, to cutting to the DVD with the person talking in this documentary that's being shown, was actually done pretty well. I liked that. I thought that was done good. I just didn't understand, like, is this supposed to be VHS? Is this supposed to be DVD? What is it? I did like the alien POV. I thought that was good. And it actually takes a little while to see the aliens, and I was okay with that. I had a feeling they would probably be CGI, which they are. For its budget, they don't look bad. We see them later on. And they're always kind of in the background, which I thought was cool. So when they're out in like the forest that they're in, that you can always kind of see them kind of skirtling, you know, going along in the background on the screen, like behind a tree or something. And they do the same thing inside the barracks. There's, in Sarah's bedroom, I thought that it was funny that there is a John Carpenter's The Thing poster on the wall, but it's a poster I've never seen. So it might be a Spanish poster, but you could see on top that it does say John Carpenter's The Thing. And since she's really into like aliens and UFOs, I thought that was a good poster to have up, is, you know, have up the best like alien horror movie ever made. You know, sci-fi horror movie, and or you could, you know, the other one would be Close Encounters. Those would be the two that I would choose, you know, if possible. The abandoned building, what they keep calling like the barracks, is very cool. It's really big. Like I said, it could be a factory. It almost looks like a castle in a way. But it's this really old kind of cement building that's out in this nice big green forest. And I like that. Excuse me, one second. So I'm going to point out my mug here. So I thought this mug would be appropriate since I'm always having to drink water when I make these videos. So this is the National Atomic Testing Museum mug for their Area 51 display that they had. And on the back, it says, you know, you got their name up here. So National Atomic Testing Museum. And so I went to this when it was on, when the Area 51 display was up, and bought this mug. So I thought it was really cool. If you're ever out here in Vegas, definitely check out the National Atomic Testing Museum. If you love things that deal with like the atomic bomb, or movies that deal with the atomic bomb, like Godzilla and Them, they kind of go through the whole history of, obviously, you know, Roswell. So this is pretty cool, and I thought it was appropriate for the film that I'm reviewing. And also I have behind me there it is, a Feeders poster, which I put up, which I thought was also appropriate. This is the Polonia Brothers Feeders, about aliens that are killing people. So I tried to make everything match. But back to the review. I liked there's an old RV that I liked. And so they have to escape this barracks, and then they're traveling along, and they come and they go to Ed's RV. So it's this really old, kind of dilapidated, garbage filled RV that's just kind of like out in the middle of nowhere. And I like that. I like how they kind of put garbagey things in a really beautiful area. I thought that was a great contrast. They then kind of go into, well, they don't kind of, they do. They go into it's an old tunnel that goes into a crawl space, and which basically brings them kind of back to this barracks. So all these locations are great. Aliens in the background are great. The aliens, like I said, are CGI. They don't look great, mostly when they're in the shadows in the background. They work well. Once you kind of get to see it up close, yeah, it's a low budget film, so it works. It's fine. Pretty much they look like what's on the cover here, so they're not lying, which is nice. So we got that. There's this. I'm going to go back to this DVD for a second, because it's really strange. Everybody seems to have this DVD. And so Sarah gets a copy of it, which it sounds like she ordered and she was waiting for. Then when they go to the barracks, there's electricity in the barracks, and there's a room that's almost kind of like an audio, like video room, where there's a TV, and this documentary or series is playing. So it's with the same host. And then that goes to inside one of there's what this ends up being, and like I said, spoilers, is we find out that what's happening is the ranger, who's a hybrid, half human, half alien, and Ed are part of the same family, and their mother is this nice, creepy, evil nurse. And what they're doing is that they're kidnapping women and impregnating them with the aliens, hence, I guess, alien invasion. And so there's a lot of this activity going around. So in this one woman's kind of like a cell, which is also really nice. It's really gross. There's just a mattress on the floor. It's very dirty. There's blood. There's like paper and junk everywhere. There's a TV. And then there's a box for this DVD, which is the Tetis Files. I think I'm saying that right. And, you know, same host and everything. And she turns it on by mistake. and he's, you know, continues talking about these aliens and this barracks and UFOs and stuff. And I'm thinking, once again, okay, is this supposed to be VHS or is this DVD? Um, but the props, the sets, and everything I really enjoyed in this. I thought that they were that they took the time to actually do something nice. Then there is the one of the aliens goes to have sex with one of the female prisoners, and from the back you actually see an alien penis. It's not very big, but they you know, they're short, and they're like the grays, like the gray aliens, and you actually see an alien penis. So I thought that was kind of funny. And there's also kind of like a gynecologist room. Once again, well set up, good props, good everything in there, where Sarah is, and they're doing like an ultrasound, and it ends up being like a female alien that she's pregnant with. And because they're the nice evil nurse is injecting all the women, and then the alien is having sex with them. Or, and once again, spoilers, you know, the ranger is having sex with them. His eyes turn red, so we know that there's something wrong with them, with him. And everything in that room looks great. I mean, it looks really good. It's just this really creepy gynecologist room. And what's nice in this room is it's got, you know, it's got the chair that has the two pieces where the legs go up. It's got like the stirrups. It's got a lot of machinery. There's like crucifixes with Jesus on it. There's like God images. So they're kind of combining all this alien science, machinery, religion into this whole thing, which I liked. And me being an atheist, I love that type of stuff when they add all this type of stuff in there, because I never find it offensive. I actually find it really kind of cool and funny. And it's weird is eventually Sarah does escape. You know, I'm not going to tell everything in this because I do want you to be surprised. She does escape. We cut to the video and the host, once again, talking about UFOs, the bunker, aliens, and all that. And then she runs on screen. And I thought, well, this is weird because she runs on screen, but we're seeing it as it's like the VHS tape. And that the camera pulls back, you know, it edits and it cuts back, and the host helps her, and he grabs his camera, and they split in the car. And I'm like, wait a minute. And he does ask her in the car, instead of kind of being like, well, are you okay? He's asking, did you see the last episode? You know, what did you think of the last episode? So it's like, okay, so is what everybody watching previous episodes, like, is this a 10-part episode, and what we're seeing are from already made episodes? And she interrupted him making episode 11 or something, but we're just seeing it from like the camera point of view at first, and which I guess is what happened. It's not the worst idea. I kind of liked it once I thought about it. And then I'm thinking, while they're driving, because they're driving a long time, that the host is in on this whole thing, that because he talks about like 3 brothers, and I'm like, uh-oh, he's the brother, he's the other brother. And after he kind of gives all this like exposition, you kind of realize that's what he's there for, is that he's the guy who's kind of telling us this whole story. And I guess he doesn't end up being one of the brothers, because he, you know, drops her off next to some police, and she's taken away, hopefully to be helped. And then the ranger pops up, and there's a kind of like more like an FBI guy that's there, and he's also at the beginning. You know, he's got, you know, the total FBI look to him, and he turns and we see this black thing that's on his neck, which other people had. So we now find out that he's in on it, and then the ranger's eyes turn red, and they look, and they did this at the beginning of the film too, which I guess is intentional because they do it twice, is uh, they look past the camera and they're like, okay, well, looks like you got another one. You better go do what you're going to do. And it stays on them for quite a while. And so at the beginning of the film, I was like, why aren't we cutting to see what they see, which eventually becomes Sarah. And which at the very beginning of the film, the ranger pops out and scares the crap out of Sarah, and she just kind of laughs it off. I don't know. I probably would have had her punch him, not realizing, that he's like a ranger. But that's so at the end is we see the ranger walk off, and then he meets up with another young girl or young woman who's I guess kind of doing the same thing that Sarah's doing. And then that's where the film more or less ends. We see like the nice evil nurse walking down the hallway, and she's got her her little tray with the syringes on it and stuff like that, and there's screaming and all that, and we do see like one of the women earlier on, like she cuts her stomach open, and she gives birth to like an alien baby. So this film gets wild. I mean, I'm telling you, this is not this is poor advertising. And that description on the back does not help any. If you can find this film online to watch, definitely watch it. If you find it at Dollar Tree, or maybe like a place like out here in Vegas, it'd be Zia Records, and you find it used, pick it up. I think it is well worth it. And I already put in my cart the director's other film. I'm not sure if he made it before this or after it, but I'm definitely interested in that one now. So yeah, so this is my review, which I think was a lot longer than what I thought it was going to be. But yeah, please check out Alien Invasion. And yeah, so until next time, because this is going to be one video a month for reviews after midnight. And I think I already have something in mind for the next video. So, please, give the video a thumbs up. And I guess I will talk with you later. Thanks. Bye.